Hello children. So our excitement is mounting and we want to know what happens at the end of the treasure island, what happens to Jim, what does Silver do. So there are all so many questions going around in our mind. So buck up and let's continue with chapter 22 and 23. Again, a beautiful thought for you children. Be happy and smile. Let's recap what happened in chapter 20 and 21. Long John Silver and his men became in charge of the stockade. Jim and Silver agreed to help each other out after the remaining men went out for council. The black spot was served to Silver by his men because the men had 4 reasons for not wanting Silver as their captain. Silver responds to the questions and ultimately he remains the captain after showing the map. Early the next morning, Dr. Livesey appears at the stockade in order to take care of the injured pirates. Long John Silver informs the doctor of Jim's presence and the doctor just nods grimly to Jim and proceeds to the pirates, treating them professionally and showing absolutely no fear about being in the midst of the enemy. Finally, the doctor asks to speak alone with Jim, a request that George Murray strongly objects to. Long John Silver, however, silences his fellow pirate and Jim gives him his word that he will not run off. Silver then allows Jim and the doctor to speak, as long as the doctor is outside and Jim is inside. When the doctor leaves, the men accuse Silver of playing double, sacrificing the group interest in order to save himself. In order to bluff them, he reminds them that they were searching for the treasure that very day. While the men are silenced by this reasoning, they are still not convinced of Long John Silver. Once they go outside, Silver tells Jim to move slowly because he is wary that the other pirates might attack them. Silver then puts his own case before the doctor, complete with a trembling voice. He tells how he saved Jim's life, admits that he is afraid of hanging, and asks the doctor to put in a good word for him. After that, he steps out of hearing so Jim and Livesey can talk alone. At first, Livesey scolds Jim for running off and leaving the group, especially because he did so at a time when the captain was wounded. Jim begins to cry and tells the doctor that he is not afraid to die, he is only afraid of torture. The doctor then tries to persuade Jim to run away, but the boy refuses because he has given his word to Silver and trusts him. Jim then tells the doctor about his adventures, finishing with the good news that the Hispaniola is beached at the North Inlet. Humbly, the doctor says that Jim has saved their lives at every point and that somehow they will find a way to save Jim. At this point, Long John Silver returns to the conversation and the doctor warns Silver that there might be some trouble when the pirates search for the treasure. But Silver says that the treasure hunt is the thing that may save his and Jim's life. Finally, the doctor tells Silver that if they all survive and get off the island, he will do what he can to save Silver's life. Livesey also instructs the pirate to keep Jim close to him and to call if he needs any help. Chapter 23 The Treasure Hunt. Long John Silver admits that he saw Dr. Livesey gesturing for Jim to make a run for it. Since Jim kept his promise, Long John Silver feels that Jim has saved his life, so he owes him. The pirates beckon Jim and Long John Silver over. They have breakfast going. Long John Silver tells the group that the doctor and his fellows have the ship, but once the pirates get the treasure, they will have the upper hand, since the pirates are the ones who have the boats to row out to the ship. Long John Silver tells them all of these to build the pirates' confidence. Long John Silver reminds them of Jim's value as a hostage. Jim is worried. What if Long John Silver goes back to working for the other pirates? What did Dr. Livesey mean by warning Long John Silver not to go after the treasure? They all set off looking for the treasure. All the sailors are armed, and Long John Silver is carrying Captain Flint, the parrot, on his shoulder. Jim is tied to Long John Silver with a rope around his waist. They walk over to the rowboats and set off after the treasure. They follow the directions on the map until suddenly the man on the furthest left lets out a shout. There is a skeleton lying on the ground covered in scraps of cloth. Long John Silver realizes that the skeleton is a pointer indicating the direction of the treasure. He shakes his head. It's just the kind of dark joke Captain Flint would have liked. Long John Silver figures out that the bones must have belonged to the pirate named Allardyce. The pirates exchange memories about Flint, his wickedness, and his bad temper. Even though Long John Silver tells them to be quiet and keep going, finding this dead pirate skeleton has clearly freaked out his men. The pirates stop to take a rest after reaching the top of the hill. Tom Morgan says he's not feeling well. He's still thinking about Captain Flint. They start talking about the pirate captain again. Suddenly, a high voice somewhere in the trees starts singing, 15 men on the dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum. The 6 pirates truly freak out. Tom Morgan actually falls to the ground. Long John Silver is pale and frightened, but he tells the other pirates it's just someone messing around. Then the voice calls out, "Fetch the rum, Darby! Fetch the rum, Darby!" Apparently these were Flint's last words. Long John Silver won't let the other terrified pirates turn back. He points out that the call had an echo, and no spirit echoes, does it? George Merry seems comforted by Long John Silver's observation. They realize that the voice doesn't sound like Captain Flint at all. It sounds like Ben Gunn. George Merry says no one cares about the ghost of Ben Gunn, so all the pirates seem to feel much better and they continue on. Dick Johnson is still holding his Bible fearfully, and Long John Silver makes fun of him for it. Finally, they reach the 3 tall pines where the treasure is buried. Thinking he is about to find a vast treasure, Long John Silver looks menacingly at Jim. Jim realizes that if the pirates find out the treasure, Long John Silver may not honor the treaty he struck with Dr. Livesey. Dick Johnson has started babbling. He's got a bad fever and he's becoming incoherent. and suddenly, not 10 yards further, they stopped. A low cry rose. Silver rushed forward, digging away with the foot of his crutch, and the next moment he and I came to a dead stop. Before us was a very large pit. Someone had dug it up quite some time ago. Several packing cases were thrown about, and on one of them I saw the name Walrus, the name of Flint's ship. It struck them like a blow from a hammer. The hidden treasure had been removed. The 700,000 pounds were gone. Quiz time. Apply your understanding. All the best. Watch out for the finale, the last episode of Treasure Island, in the next video.